Welcome, it's Andrea, and this is our 5th video in the Reiki 101 series. Today we're discussing different styles of Reiki and what lineages are. Reiki can be confusing, especially with all the different styles that you have heard of. A few of the popular styles out there are Usui Reiki, Kundalini Reiki, Karuna Reiki, Jikiden Reiki, Rainbow Reiki, and Angel Reiki. The style I teach and practice is called Usui Holy Fire Reiki. Mikao Usui attained the ability to channel Reiki energy in Japan in 1922. We covered that on another video here in this series. Many people are not aware, though, that there were at least 4 other styles of Reiki being practiced in Japan before Usui developed his own style. His style has spread around the world. Today, most Reiki people can trace their lineage back to Usui. And what is a lineage? A lineage is comprised of the names of the Reiki Master Teachers who channeled the energy to that student. So I'm going to show you here on the screen a visual that shows my Reiki lineage. I'll kind of get out of the way here and we'll put it up for you. And you can see there, if you count down from the top, that I'm 5th from Usui Sensei at the top. And then my students who take my classes are then 6th from Usui. Now, the importance, though, of a person's lineage is really only a matter of individual belief. And to many of us, it's really not that important. It really is the practice that we engage in after our class that really, demonstrates the importance of Reiki and all the benefits that it does offer. Now, we know Usui encouraged his student, Dr. Hayashi, to develop Reiki further. And Hayashi did. He made several changes, such as teaching Reiki 1 and 2 together in one class over 5 days. Even today in the Reiki community, there are a lot of people who would think that that is wrong to teach 1 and 2 back to back like that. But all the way back in Usui's day, and with his blessing, Dr. Hayashi made this choice. After the war in Japan, Reiki practice was greatly diminished, and we won't go into all the details about that in this video. It did spread to the West, though, through Mrs. Takata, one of Hayashi's students who lived in Hawaii. Mrs. Takata also made changes to Reiki that she thought improved the practice. She simplified treatments by developing a series of hand placements, and what this did was it shifted Reiki from a more intuitive practice to a more structured one. She incorporated the master symbol into her training and taught that attunements empowered the Reiki symbols. That was a change from what had previously been taught. This short list of examples shows that Reiki changed quickly from Usui's time to Takata's. Each master made changes that they felt were important at the time and added value to the system of Reiki. I believe Reiki comes from an unlimited source. And so as we grow and heal as individuals, it makes sense that we can access more of what Reiki truly is. The more we practice Reiki, the deeper our connection to this universal life force energy becomes. This natural progression in our understanding and experience can lead to changes in how we practice and how we teach Reiki. It's important to note that I don't think Reiki energy itself is changing or upgrading as some people say. Reiki as a universal life force, that stays constant. Reiki just simply is. But what is changing is that we're evolving. We're expanding our awareness. We're raising our vibration. And you might have heard the term, the veil is thinning, that kind of thing. People are much more in tune with different levels of consciousness today than they were 100 years ago. As we develop, we become better channels for the energy. It's like we're clearing and widening the pathway to access more of what's always been there. It's always been available. This growth in our ability to work with Reiki often brings new insights and techniques, which can lead to new styles of Reiki. So when we talk about Reiki evolving, we're really talking about how our relationship with Reiki is changing, our understanding of it, how we use it, and how we pass it on to others. The energy itself, healing, pure, and limitless, remains unchanged. This perspective helps explain why different styles of Reiki have emerged over time. Each evolution or new style isn't necessarily a departure from the original teachings, but rather an expansion, a deeper dive into the vastness of healing energy that Reiki represents. While Usui Reiki remains the foundation, newer forms have emerged as practitioners receive new insights and techniques, or maybe they combine energy healing techniques and information that they've learned in other places into their Reiki classes. While there can be value in this, confusion is also an unintended result. A real-world example of this confusion between different styles of Reiki involves Karuna Reiki that was developed by William Rand. As more people learned Karuna Reiki from William and then began teaching their own students, a troubling issue became apparent. William discovered that some teachers had modified the curriculum but continued to call it Karuna Reiki. This meant that students taking a Karuna Reiki class might learn different symbols, techniques, or even follow a completely different curriculum, depending on who was teaching it. Therefore, if a class was called Karuna Reiki, a student might learn different symbols and techniques and follow a different curriculum altogether, just depending on who they chose as their Reiki Master Teacher. Some students were understandably upset to find out that they had not learned Karuna Reiki as William developed and taught it. So to address this, William took action, and what he did was he trademarked the name Karuna Reiki to ensure transparency and consistency in that style. This helped set standards that teachers could follow and provide assurance to students that if they took a Karuna Reiki class with a trademark in the name, they would be learning and then practicing in alignment with the pure style of Karuna Reiki, the way it was intended. Later, he trademarked the name Holy Fire for the same reason. Unfortunately, many have misunderstood his intent behind the trademarks, but his goal is to lessen confusion by providing consistency and help prospective students feel confident that they're learning the style they actually wish to learn and practice. Of course, Reiki Master Teachers certainly can continue to develop in their understanding and how they choose to teach Reiki in their own classes. But if they decide to deviate from the style they were taught, it is best to change the name in order to reflect that it's been changed. This is how we can work together to offer clarity in the Reiki community and those who wish to learn it. From my perspective, all styles of Reiki have value. The best style to learn is the style that you're drawn to, that resonates with you, and that you'll practice. I recommend that if you're interested in taking a Reiki class, please investigate which style you wish to learn and consider factors like who the teacher is, what's their personality, what things do they say out perhaps on social media, or if it's a local teacher, how do they engage with your community? In-person or distance classes, that's another decision to make. And will your class be live or recorded? There are so many different options out there. Choose what will help you feel confident, though, about practicing after class. Because if you don't practice, you miss out on all that Reiki offers. If you want to hear more on this topic, I'll link to a podcast episode on the end screen of this video. So hold tight and tune in on my other YouTube channel, Beyond the Reiki Gateway. Thank you so much for watching. In our next Reiki 101 video, I'll share more about the style I teach, Holy Fire Reiki. Add your questions in the comments below this video and let me know what other topics we might cover in the series, and I'll see, what emerges as popular topics, and I'll make some videos about those. Thank you for being part of our Mainstream Reiki YouTube family, and I'll see you next time.